Welcome to SLB HQ. I'm here with Ash. That's me. Thomas and Leon. Leon has just been on an epic journey. Where have you been?
I've been to Japan to visit the Tokyo Game Market, Autumn Edition, and for the first time in history of Tokyo Game Market, it was a 2-day game market.
Right.
So, I mean, all the game markets before were just 1 day, 10 to 5 p.m. and you have 7 hours to take a look at like 5 bajillion games. And now you have 14 hours to do just that. But actually,
they're different.
Now you have like 14 hours to take a look at like 8 bajillion games. It's not quite double, but so many publishers came only for 1 day, and other publishers came for the other day. So it was more like visiting 2 different game markets because the publishers were so different from 1 day to the other.
Okay.
And what's the deal with the Tokyo Game Market? Why were you there? What's distinctive if you haven't been?
Okay, imagine Essen. Well, I mean, most of you, I'm sure, have been to...
everyone watching.
Everyone watching have been to Essen. Imagine Essen and all the new games you can see there and so on. But imagine this, but in one hall during 1 day. Yeah, that's Tokyo Game Market for you. So it's
everything's scaled down.
Yeah, it's everything scaled down, but except for the number of games.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have like maybe 1,000 new releases or something
In one hall.
But in one hall of Essen. So I just took a look at the numbers. I think for every day where there were like the first day there were 600 publishers, and the second day there were 500 publishers around that. So of course there were some publishers coming on both days, but even that, I mean, around 800 publishers. And everyone is showing at least 1 new game, I think.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely crazy how many new games are getting published at Tokyo Game Market, and the way they presenting it is also absolutely crazy. So this table is the average booth size of Tokyo Game Market. They just have this table, then they have like their games put on this table, like maybe average print run of a game is like maybe 100 copies or 200 copies.
Right.
And more often than not, they sell out all their games.
Yeah, there's a really good atmosphere. There's people who are designers, publishers, artists, producers of
everyone
physically making. Yeah, they're the full. It's like directed by Tommy Wiseau, produced by Tommy Wiseau. It's like it's the whole package.
Yeah, and it's absolutely crazy the amount of creativity that is going on there. It's there's so many interesting game ideas, and which is quite nice, often in a very small package. So yeah, and I brought some games.
Yes.
To our office and also to the Nice Game Shop, which we would like to show you.
Yeah,
No.
So we're doing something kind of different this time. We're not going to be playing any of these games. We might open a couple of them, but really we're just going to be showing you the games because so often, I mean, I'm particularly surprised. You look at the picture, you see the description, and I get an idea in my head of how big the game is. And then you see it and it's like tiny or it's big. And so this will just give you a sense of what the game is about and how it looks on the table.
Okay, so we start.
We're gonna go through a list. The first one is a game that I was really excited to see last year. I'm really glad we have it. It's Dwarven Necklace Workshop.
So Dwarven Necklace Workshop is like a necklace building game. It's a card game, so every turn I think you play a card. First I have to make sure I have not played this game, and many of the games I show, there's so little time, and I have to spend so much time to actually buy those games, so I cannot play all the games. But this looks really interesting. It's like a necklace building game. You have those Dwarven can you see that?
Yeah.
Those dwarven necklaces.
You have to, they're really nice components. They're like
Yeah.
little gems and you know, kind of amulets you might get in a kid's kind of jewelry set or something like that.
And yeah, over the course of the game, you are going to play cards and build this necklace. And I imagine whoever built
The best one will win.
most beautiful necklace wins.
Yeah, so you have basically missions was my memory. So
Oh, okay.
you're trying to make them symmetrical. So you want a ruby and then a diamond and then a sapphire on each side, I'd
got it.
say.
Okay.
There's also some kind of take that elements and things like this. But it's sort of like set collection or something like this maybe. But it looks beautiful on the table.
Yeah.
And it looks like really fun because you really thread these little stones onto the thing. And then in the game you have a necklace, you know. Yeah,
That's cool.
and we have only a very small number of copies of this one, as with most of these. But yeah, that's the first one. That is Dwarven Necklace Workshop. The next one is Haken Sentai Mamorunja.
With the cool ninjas.
Yeah, I really like the description.
Yeah, ninjas, not ninjas, Power Rangers,
Yeah.
something like this.
It's Super Sentai or Power Rangers. Absolutely not influenced by those two shows.
Yes. The description says in English it would be Dispatch Squad Memo Rangers. So that's who they are.
It's a trick-taking game. I haven't played it, but whoever likes trick-taking games should take a look at this game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the same is true for the next game we have, which is
I think this one, right?
No, Kami 9.
Here. Here
Kami
it is.
9, that's it, yes.
Here it is.
Kami 9, which is another trick-taking game about kamis, so like deities in... Is it deities?
Deities.
Deities.
Yes.
Deities in Japanese culture. And you try to win their divine, how do you call it, like gratitude?
The blessing.
Blessing. That's the word I was looking for.
And I really like the art on this.
Yeah.
It looks
You can-
beautiful.
You can see the cover here, and it looks really beautiful.
Yeah, there's a hint of like an 8-bit kind of thing on some of the cards,
Yeah.
but it's done really subtly and really nicely. It's not it doesn't
Let's
look
see it here, maybe.
I think.
cliche.
Maybe we can
Right.
put some pictures.
Ooh, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
put some pictures
We
on,
can,
right?
we can put just
Yeah.
right
You will see it here.
there.
Exactly.
there.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. Looks
Over
great.
the coffee machine.
And that's another trick taker.
So, yeah.
All right, the next
Okay,
one
the next
is
one.
a game which is already sold out.
Yeah.
And it looks so cool.
Sorry, Lorna. I know you have been asking. So this is a Gargle, but keep in mind it has no English title. It doesn't. The real name is not Gargle. Or if some publisher would pick it up, I think they would not name it Gargle.
Yeah, this is a Google Translate. You mean goggle like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a Google Translate. It's basically about cormorants who try to cross the river and try to eat as many sweet fish as they can. I mean, first take a look at this box, which is just
it's a matchbox.
It's a matchbox, and it's
Yeah.
just beautiful. And it's a card game, but there are also matches inside. I have no clue how it works, but yeah, the story is cormorants trying to cross the river and eat as many fish as they can.
This isn't the first Japanese micro game we've seen with matchsticks inside. There was the deaf one that we couldn't quite work out.
Yeah, true.
That's too traditional.
So this is published by Dick Me. They're doing all their games in
This size.
Matchbox or Matchbox-like
Yeah.
packaging.
Very cool. And in fact, the next one is from them as
Yeah.
well. That's Swan Date.
The same size.
So this is
Really
Swan
bit
Date.
better.
I mean, this has actually the English title on the box. This has no matches inside, but beautiful little swans. Maybe you can tell us something more what it's all about. It's already sold out, I see.
Yeah, it's already sold out. So
Sorry.
this is a cruel show. It's like, huh? No.
You want that? You want that? Huh?
Sorry. So this looks really. I'm very intrigued by this game. So the description is the Pond in no Kashira Park in Kichijoji is jinxed and has a famous phrase associated with it that nearly everyone knows. And the saying is, a couple, if you ride in a boat, will break up. So that's the theme. So you and your partner have never heard of this phrase before you entered a swan boat on the pond. But now that you have, you're wondering whether a breakup is inevitable. So some heavy themes. Work together on Swan Date to take pictures in the park, and perhaps you'll remain a couple by the time the boat reaches shore. So it's a cooperative game, I get from that. But there are hand gestures on the cards inside, and it looks like you'll be kind of communicating with each other in this way.
I think so.
It looks like this, like a kind of...
you have to do something with special...
Exactly, the fingers.
And
this
pictures,
yeah, exactly. This is a kind of common thing as well. It's like hand gestures and things like that in these designs. But it looks great. It looks great. I really love the theme. So what's next?
Next up, before we go to the next game, I want to show you briefly the third game. We don't have it in our online shop.
Oh yeah.
But this was the novelty of this show, which is called Gandouchi, which absolutely don't mean the meaning is not cancer, by the way.
we were Google let us straight now.
So this is absolutely beautiful as well. Again in the matchbox with like a I don't know what's the
tiny
theme,
little
like,
rule book.
Tiny little rule book and tiny little cards. And yeah, this is Gandouchi, which was the novelty by this publisher in the Tokyo Game Market.
Yeah, this is really cool. I really liked what this publisher's doing. Were they here last year? Did you notice them earlier?
I didn't see them last year, but I mean they are around for quite a while already, because this is, I think, 2015 release or something.
Okay.
So
yeah, they're very kind of confident. Like they know what they're very distinctive.
Right.
That's for sure.
The next one.
We should move to the next game.
Yeah,
this one we can kind of show.
yeah, we can open and show you. So this is table Hanabi.
Yes.
So all board gamers know what Hanabi is, and now we can not only play it as a card game, but also as a, I wouldn't call it board game, but dexterity game.
Dexterity thing, yeah.
Yeah, so there are some sticks and some balls inside, and it's a cooperative dexterity game, so...
Which is interesting, right? Because Hanabi is cooperative, so...
Yeah. And at the beginning of the game, there are two sticks in the
base.
In the base, yeah. And if it's our turn, we either place a ball or a stick, and we try to build all the parts. If we place a stick, it only can go through 2 holes. If we place a ball, I mean.
It can only go through 2?
If you place a...
if you place a stick.
If you place a stick, it can only go to...
okay.
So that's kind of it. There are no more rules about like colors or...
Not like in Hanabi.
No. There are no more. The only rule, there can be no bridge between 2 balls. So if I place now another... That was very dexterous. So if I place another ball...
You can't just slot this in.
I can just put this through there and then...
Connect them.
This is not allowed.
And we've seen some pictures of some really elaborate structures, right? Because you end up putting sticks up here, connected to another ball even higher up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's
it's a simple kind of simple game, but I think as a cooperative party game, it's really nice.
Yeah, and it looks different, I think.
Yeah,
in other
table
games.
presence. And the dexterity cooperative game is pretty unique. There's not a lot of those. So yeah, table
Hanabi.
And we do have some of these. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
The next one is a game that both of you have looked at.
Yeah.
AL-MICAN.
AL-MICAN.
Oh,
Favorite.
we could even. So there's a video. We can put it in
Yeah,
the
we'll link
show
it.
notes.
It was a funny game. It's a funny game.
So if you want to know more, if you want to take a look at the components, we made a video for that. This is AL-MICAN by Consumer Honpo. So it's a memory game. I mean, and also the most basic memory game you can think of. So
Yeah,
no real twist to it. It's just you have to find two matching pictures.
No real twist.
Okay, I mean,
One twist.
there's one twist.
That's one twist.
It's all about oranges and mandarins. So all the pictures on the cards are either oranges or mandarins, and they look nearly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny part is now to, even though they all look the same, to remember one small specific detail on the oranges that you maybe can find it again if you flip that card. So, and this is one of the most hilarious games I ever played.
Yeah.
There are debates
Yeah,
about whether
yeah,
it's the same
so.
fruit or not.
Yeah, but it's yeah, this is.
Funny game.
It's a funny game. AL-MICAN by Consumer Honpo. 2 to 5 players, 10 minutes.
This is a good example of the strange genius of the Tokyo game market, right? Of the twist. The next is Graf,
Chat Graph.
which is there it is. That's it. Now this one you haven't played this one, right?
I have not played.
So I'll read out the description because it's very intriguing. Graf is another trick-taking game where players use the art of conversation in response to the strange official declarations of the king in order to split the rewards between themselves. A single card contains 2 numbers with 2 numerical values. Use the different numerical values for 2 consecutive tricks. That's pretty cool.
That's already pretty cool.
Yeah, you're gonna. It's gonna be used in the next trick as well. And English rules are available online. That's it. That's all we know about that. But I'm very intrigued. Lots of trick taking.
Yeah,
at
very.
the moment. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's all the same publisher, 758 board game circle. So they are specialized in trick-taking games.
Okay. Okay, the next one.
The next is Triangle.
The next is Triangle. So
You played it?
I have not played it.
Okay.
I'm just I was intrigued by the illustrations.
Yeah, the nice.
They are really nice. What I heard, it's a really easygoing card game. And it was in the survey, and people like me took a look at it and voted for please bring this game back to Germany. So we made the little survey before we went to Tokyo Game Market to see what which games you want to see on Nice Game Shop, and this was one of the games you wanted to see, so we brought it back. I don't know what it's about, but it looks really nice.
Cool. Yeah.
The next is a game that was recommended to us in an interview that we did with a guy in Japan doing board game reviews and covering the board game scene there in English. So we'll have the link there as well. And this is the game this was his hotness, so I hope you got a copy. Yeah, it's called Strongest Bully.
Yes.
Didn't get to play this one, I assume?
No. Unfortunately.
But there are English rules inside,
Yes.
so you can check it out.
Yeah, it's the idea is that one of you is the bully, and you're each offering like toys, and then the bully is choosing based on who offers what toy, like who their best friend is for the day. So very like schoolyard behavior. But yeah, it's kind of like I pick you choose kind of setup.
Yeah,
is my understanding. Yeah.
Okay.
And it looks great. I really like the illustrations there as well. Alright, the next game is Throne and the Grail.
Throne and the Grail. So this is a 2-player game. Didn't play it again, but it gained a lot of hotness on Board Game Geek as well. So many people are recommending it. Or at least the ones who played it are recommending it. It's maybe not many, but So yeah, and once again, the illustrations look really nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're hitting a lot of these mystery games. The next is, I think, definitely a mystery game, Moteneba.
Moteneba. I just was reading the discussion on Board Game Geek about this game, that people are freaking out because it has a period at the end of the title.
Okay.
So there was one guy freaking out that please put out the period out of the title.
Really?
But
Why?
actually, it's part. So other people chimed in and said it's part of the title.
Yeah,
we
so
have to keep it there. So
On our shop, you will see that period.
so it's by the same publisher as Thrawn and the Grail. Again, I have not played it, but the illustrations are again, I think maybe the same artist.
So this description here might help a lot. So Moteneba apparently means "gotta be popular," and the theme is that the players are trying to impress 7 girls. So it's another kind of schoolyard, high school kind of situation.
And you can see the 7 girls there.
You're trying to impress them, becoming more and more
Maybe.
popular.
Yeah.
So players take turns placing cubes representing sportiness, intelligence, looks, wealth, and esprit on various girls. How much effect a certain something has depends on what trends are going. So one year they'll be up to like sporty guys, and then the next one it might be like intelligence. And players can instead decide to elevate the trend of a certain trait, effectively affecting everyone's decision. So yeah, that's how it works. That sounds really interesting. And you've got to impress girls, of course. Very important. Next one is Wan Wan Wanderin,
Here it is.
which is maybe the first cat game we've seen, very surprisingly.
Yeah, it's actually not only cats but also dogs.
Oh, good.
I see.
Yeah. Dogs too.
Yeah, it's another mystery game. I have not played it.
By the way, this is
But this is actually. I picked this up because I know the publisher, and the publisher puts out only solid titles. I mean, it's the same publisher and the same designer and the same artist as like Alpaca Paca Paca and Sushi Kappa, and I mean it's a Takamakahara game. So they put out a lot of good games, and I think this one is too. So the description says something like it's really easy.
The description
if you see the components, you know how to play it.
Yeah,
This
it
is the
says here,
description for the game.
I think you will understand the contents of the game when you look at it. It is a party game. Put the card out, move the dog. There are also special cards. It is light and loose. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, currently no English rules, but they will be published online.
Plus, when you see the components,
You
know how to play.
Yeah, you know how to play.
There's a pyramid. Okay, cool. The next one we're going to be taking a look at is Aquarium Designer.
Here.
Yeah. This is also a game I picked up because of the publisher's pedigree. So this is the same publisher as Birds of Happiness and Animal Village and Sweets. So Yamato Games, they put out a lot of solid games, and I think this will be also solid. It's a tile laying game for 1 to 5 players.
Cats Party as well.
Cats Party, and that's it. Yes.
That's it. And they all look beautiful.
They all look beautiful, and they all have English rules coming with them. So yeah, that's Aquarium
and
Designer.
it's a special theme, I think. Aquarium Designer, I think.
Yes.
I never
It's a great
seen
thing.
it before.
Yeah.
It's a tile laying, although I saw
Tile laying?
Yeah, it's a tile laying game. Although I didn't. There's also penguins in there, so I
Okay.
don't know what penguins are doing in your aquarium. Alright, the next is a game called Miraris.
Yeah, that looks beautiful.
Of course.
Only beautiful games at night.
Only beautiful.
Well, I mean the publisher. This
Yeah.
this artist. Always does great work.
Yeah, it's always the glass. We were talking about this before. It's always the classiest booth at Game Market. The publisher in suit and everything top notch. And I mean, so are the productions. I have not played it again, but as Thomas already pointed out, it looks absolutely beautiful. Yeah, and it comes also again with English rules inside the box. So that's Miraris.
Alrighty.
next one.
ReCURRRing.
ReCURRRing.
Okay, so this is a game I have not played.
Ooh,
This will be
that's
the
something new.
recurring theme of this video.
Okay, we have not played. Okay.
So yeah, we have not played it, but this is actually really hot on Board Game Geek. I mean, Eric Martin, I think
The Eric Martin.
the Eric Martin
Yeah.
fell in love with this game. So I heard a lot of good things about this game, and now I got. Actually, I wanted to pick it up last game market already, but I couldn't find it. But this time we have it now in our shop. Yeah, ReCURRRing by Team Cyan. I mean, Team Cyan, they are not only in Japan but also abroad. They're making a name for themselves. So I think their game Elements was published by Pegasus Spiele,
Yeah, it was published there,
so in Germany. So it's not only in Japan that they are the hotness, also in Germany.
Is this the publisher that had the really like cool booth? They had like a suit of like samurai armor and stuff like that. Like they had
not this time.
Not this time. Okay. I was just thinking this is an abstract, like it's just numbers and some of the cards have an R in it. But the graphic design is beautiful. It looks cool. You kind of get a sense of flavor from it, even though it's just numbers. So anyway, the next one is Neos.
Yeah, same.
Here it is.
Same publisher, designer. I have not played it.
There are not so many pictures on the back side.
It's also abstractish game.
It's abstract, but so classy. You've got these colorful lines that you have to connect, and they flow. It's like kind of Tron meets like a heart monitor or something like that. It looks awesome.
Looks definitely awesome.
Yeah. Neos as well. Cool. More cats.
More cats. This is Cat Hilts by Manifest Destiny or Kuru, the designer. You guessed it. I have not played it, but I mean, this is really the designer's pedigree. So Manifest Destiny only puts out solid games, and if you are into board games, you probably have heard of his games already. I mean, not only in Japan but also in USA, he put out a lot of games like the Terrifying Girl Disorder, for example, is originally a Manifest Destiny game. So it's about cats and numbers. It's a card game.
And it's a scratching post. You're building like a climbing, like a playpen
for the highest place, maybe.
Yeah. Have the happiest cat. Yeah.
That's Cat Hilts.
And keep this in mind. We're going to show some very big Manifest Destiny games up to this. So this is the same publisher. We'll be showing these at the end. And this is the small ones. Next is Ophir.
Yeah, which is Ophir, also a card game. Maybe you can enlighten us a little bit about Ophir.
Not that much. So I'm looking at the description here. So Ophir, the Divine Eldorado, is a brain-burning Mancala? Mancala style worker placement. Roster draft card game. Wow, no, Rochester draft. Do you know what a Rochester draft is? So anyway, I can't even describe it. That's how brain burning it is. It's a brain burning Mancala style worker placement Rochester draft card game. So Mancala drafting, I understand these. So the game consists of cards that are played in piles in the table face up. Players take turns placing their workers in the piles from which they wish to take cards, and they'll get as many cards from the pile as there are workers on the pile. That's interesting. The player with the most workers on a given pile will be the one who gains cards from it. Okay, gained cards are sorted in color but gained in order, and only the latest card gained will earn the player points. Whoa. I see the brain burning.
Yeah.
And then most points at the end wins. Yeah, that sounds really interesting. Yeah.
That's Ophir. There are no English rules currently available.
No, currently, but I mean,
there's no text on the cards.
There's no text on the cards, and
they always release.
The publisher will put out English rules online. So let's put the next two games together because they're actually not new games from this show. like last week or so. They are actually from last year. Also Manifest Destiny, two games. One is called Sekigahara, which is the like a Japanese war style game, and then we have King Game, which is like a betting party game. These are King Game and Sekigahara. Let's move on to the...
I'm not sure if the next one's here. Do we have Blend Coffee Lab?
Oh.
I have seen it.
I've seen it too.
Blend Coffee Lab.
Well, I know people are really excited to see that one, so maybe someone can take a look.
Maybe we just put the picture...
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Over the...
You can talk a bit about Blend Coffee Lab?
Yeah, still, once again, I have not played it. It's another trick-taking game. It's Sashi and Sashi. I mean, they cannot fail you. It's first, take the A code, then coffee roaster, then wind the film. And now they follow up with another coffee-themed card game, Blend Coffee Lab. I'm sure it will be wonderful to play. I mean, it's definitely wonderful to look at.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those games that are already selling, but basically on the basis of why you bought it.
Yeah.
The next is Era of Voyage Dice.
Okay, so Era of Voyage Dice is the follow-up to Era of Voyage. So Era of Voyage was kind of a sleeper hit, I guess. So there was actually no English rules and no English resources whatsoever to it, and there was text on the cards and so on. And then one guy on YouTube put out an English rule video, and a lot of people got interested. So do we, and we bought Era of Voyage, and it sold out immediately on Nice Game Show.
Yeah. And people are always asking for that as well.
And people were asking for Era of Voyage, and they were asking for Era of Voyage the dice as well. Once again, I have not played it, but it looks really interesting.
Yeah. Something like set collection, maybe? Something like that.
Voyaging.
Voyaging, yeah. Voyaging and dice rolling. Actually, the description is something like, of course there is dice roll, there's randomness through the dice rolling, but there's also thinking. Let's try to find the balance between thinking and lucky.
Yeah, it describes like how much risk will you take. So
yeah,
kind of push your luck. Yeah, and the next one is one that I saw. I'm sure I saw this one at the last game fair.
That's not possible, I think.
Oh, really?
Because this is a new title from the show.
Oh no, it was the one where it was called like the moon is exploding or something. You had to escape from this planet because yeah, but it had a similar aesthetic.
This is.
I swear. No, it's real. I'm gonna find that. There's gonna be a picture of this game.
Right. Here. So this is Mezame-No-Sora, but the publisher just told me the English name will be The Space Epoch. And this is the
I love the art.
by the same publisher as Minimal Creation, which was like a big hit last game market. And now this publisher follows up with the Space game for 2 to 4 players. I haven't played it, but it's I think like a action programming game where you play cards and program your spaceship to move. And
is this like a
turn.
hex? There's a hex.
Yeah, there's like a hex grid, and you try to navigate your spaceship through space.
In the pictures, I'm looking at the resources. They have this cool like 50s style, like retro futuristic. Space voyage thing going on. Very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is one second. The next one is Royal Warrant.
So Royal Warrant. This is actually an older game.
So beautiful.
By the same publisher as Dwarven Necklace Workshop. It's like a betting game. So there are different. How do you call it? Like spaces on the board. Like actually, this is the board, and then you put you have chips which have numbers on it, and you put them face down, and then you open up, and whoever has the the highest sum on a given space can take the action of that space. That kind of game. It looks really solid. I haven't played it, but I sat through a demo, so looked really interesting, and yeah, Royal Warrant by Power 9 Games.
Is it kind of simultaneous reveal?
Yes,
something like that, right? Cool. So yeah, it's kind of like action selection, something like that. You're choosing the roles or area control, I guess.
Yeah, kind of like area control. Yeah.
The next is Match Me. What color is this?
Okay, Match Me. So Color Arc. A lot of cool games they have put out. So
maybe we show the next game too.
Oh, well, we can. So this time they put out 2 games, Match Me and Sly Knight Seekers. I cannot tell you so much about Sly Knight Seekers, but Match Me is a cooperative game where. So I haven't played it, but I got the explanation. So every player has the same set of color cards, and then there is a deck of word cards, and you open up a card and read out a word, and every player has to play face down a card which he associates with it. So for example, there's
a color, yeah?
A color, yeah. For example, there's stationery or bird or restaurant, and you have to play face down this color, and I think it goes over like a few words, I don't know how many, and then everyone opens up the colors, the color cards, and you win cooperatively the game if you have all the same order of color cards. And if there is one color different from a player, then you lose.
Yeah, it says the same order. What do you mean the same order?
Yeah, so for example, we have restaurant. Everybody plays the
and we don't reveal that.
We don't reveal it.
And
then the next word is like fast food. Okay. And everybody plays another card.
Yeah.
And at the end of the game, all the colors have to be the same for every player.
That's genius. That's really interesting.
That's really interesting, and I think really, I mean, it's hard. You really need to be. It's a perfect game to play with your friends. I think it's like to really see if you are on the same page. Yeah.
Of Dixity. And it says here that there are hard and easy variations in the game as well. So that sounds kind of impossible. It sounds like you can turn it back, so it's more doable. I guess you just have fewer words to complete. Yeah. And the next game, I guess.
That's Match Me, and this is Sly Knight Seekers. So I absolutely loved Sly Knight Robbery. That's I mean, one of my favorite games. Sly Knight Seekers is now it's not connected gameplay wise, but it's in the same kind of universe. I have no idea how it's played.
Oops! Let me read out the description. What's going on? Oops! The robber escaped into the town. The knights start seeking clues from the people of the town. Fortunately, the knights have got a lot of information, but it's not complete, and the knights are not satisfied. Now they try to grab more clues from each other. So the players have cards in their hand as clues on the robbery. So these are just numbers from what I can see. Then the players sort their card into an ascending order, so 1, 4, 8. Now the player whose turn it is plays one card face up to another player seeking an answer. If that player has the same card at the end of their hand, that's kind of interesting. I wonder if they mean at the highest or something. They must give it to that player along with the played card. So the players, you're going to be passing cards around, figuring out what the situation is. And if you have 2 or 3 players, it's a competition. This is really interesting.
Yeah, that's really.
2 or 3 players, it's a competition to win. 4 players, it's a 2 partnership game to win. So you'll have a partner. And 5 players or more, one of them is solo, and then the other 4 are in partnerships. That's really interesting. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, sounds like a good kind of deduction. I'm not really sure what you're trying to deduce. Maybe a missing card, or maybe just trying to get a set or something like that in your hand. Yeah, Sly Knight Seekers.
That's Sly Knight Seekers.
Okay, we have Count Leery and
with the birds.
This is Okazu brand.
Yeah, this is Okazu brand. So they published 2 games this game market, Rattaneer and Count Leery. Finally, I can say I played both of them.
Oh, finally!
So Count Leery is like a brain twisting party card game. Basically, you have 2 like mission cards, no, you have like 3 mission cards, and then you open up bird cards, and the birds have colors and numbers on it, and so the number of the first card and the color of the second card decides what you have to say or do. What's then decided on the mission cards. So you have to see the first card and the second card, and then you have to take a look at the mission cards. What you have to do. For example, clap twice, or say hello, or say 7. So, and if you mess it up, then you have to take all the bird cards. So whoever has the most bird cards at the end of the game is the loser.
Great,
Okay,
so kind of like Chidango or something like that, where you're looking at the cards, you're trying to react, but it's actually more social.
It's not a reaction game, so that's. I mean, I mean, when I first heard about it, I thought also it was like a reaction game, but actually it's a turn-based.
Oh, I
game.
see.
So let's say it's your turn. You flip 1 card and the next card, and I'm the player to respond.
Okay, so it's just thinking. You just have to not mess it up.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Great. That's good. I'm not very fast, so that's great.
Yeah, it's actually. I mean, maybe there should be a rule that people. I mean, if people.
There's a social construct about how long you have. Yeah,
exactly. So, but actually, there's no. It's not in the rules that you have to be as fast as possible or something.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So that's Count Leery with absolutely beautiful birds on the cards. And then we have Rattaneer, which is simultaneously reveal card game. So we are Rattaneers, like buccaneers, but rats, and we are sailing the oceans to claim treasure or claim goods and convert them into treasure, and whoever has the most treasure or victory points is the winner of the game. The absolutely brilliant part of this game, I mean, I just showed it now because it's so brilliant. Okay, this is fast forward now. So the cool thing about the game
Comes with a real rat.
Comes with a real rat. So the cool thing about the game is we have those tiles, and this is basically so you cannot see anything because we don't have the camera on the. So okay, let's put it like this. So we have like 9 tiles like this in a row, and we are.
What are you looking for?
And under every tile there are some cards which we can loot if we go there. So, and then I said it's a card reveal, but it's not a card reveal, it's actually a token reveal game. So we have those little ships with numbers on it, and these numbers decide where we want to go, and behind those we place our token, and then we simultaneously reveal and we see where everybody wants to go. Now, the genius thing about this is we place our tokens there, but we can only go so far as the like the chain goes from the tokens. So if we want to explore the furthest island where there are the biggest treasures, we have to somehow manage it that there is a chain of tokens of pirates going there. So
All right.
okay, so
So if there's 3 next to each other, everyone 3 at the end or the start of the turn?
no, I mean first the first tile, for example, is the town. Then the second tile is the tavern.
Sure.
The third to 8th is the are islands, and 9th is the legendary island. So if there is let's say if there's 1, 2, 3, if there are pirates on 1, 2, 3, and then on 5 doesn't get to claim the treasures and has to go directly to get something as a reward, just a small reward for getting nothing really. Because there was nothing on the 4th island.
Okay.
So you
you're
don't
trying-
move, you claim treasure based
You're
on
trying
the chain.
to get a connection to everything.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of semi-cooperative game. I mean, if you have, I mean, it's very hard to go if you want to go to island number 9 all by yourself. It's kind of hard because you have only 3 tokens at the beginning of the game. There is the option to get more, but on the beginning of the game you have only 3 tokens. And if you want to go to island number 9, it's not possible all by yourself because on every island before that there has to be a token.
Okay.
Interesting. Oh, so we have multiple tokens each, is the other thing.
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
Everyone has 3, and there's the option to get more.
Intriguing. So you need to work together, but you don't want to be the one that's throwing the game to somebody. You know,
Yes,
You're
exactly.
all on one team until you're not.
So I don't know if this description helped a little, but
A little bit.
I'm intrigued.
But there are also then you can use the action on the tile.
Right, and then
Yeah.
you're doing some kind of resource.
on the if you
trading.
if you manage to stay on the tile, you get to claim cards which are on the tile, and with those cards you get victory points.
Cool.
But this part of this semi-cooperative part is absolutely brilliant, I think. And yeah, that's Rattaneer by Okazu brand Hisashi Hayashi.
And probably in the new year we'll be doing lots of playthrough videos. This isn't the extent of what we'll be showing you for these games. Alright, we're getting close to the end here. Let's go to one of the popular titles, Little Town Builders.
Okay, Little Town Builders. I mean, it's by Shun and Studio Gigi, and it's again part of the designers and publishers pedigree. I mean, we loved the first game so much that we actually published it by ourselves, Terrible Monster. The second game, King of Frontier, is absolutely brilliant, and now Shun followed up with Little Town Builders.
Which is kind of similar, right? It's got the same aesthetic.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to, I mean, they all have the same artist in the original edition, but yeah, also from the theme, it's kind of similar to King of Frontier. But the gameplay is quite different. So you have this this grid of as a game board, and you during a turn you place your meeple there, and then you activate, I think, all the adjacent map tiles. And for example, you can harvest some goods, some resources, or you can activate the buildings, and you can also build some buildings. And if for example you activate the building of another player, you have to pay the other player some money to actually use the building.
Yeah, it says here, you can build buildings based on their resources, and by building a building, you also gain the effect of the building when put a worker around it. So there's kind of a tax going on if you own the building. And there's some cool looking things. There's like taverns and like a bakery and that kind of stuff. Very cute.
So it's some kind of area control, worker placement.
I think you take the workers back.
Okay.
I think so. It's not area control. It's just. But you're building together the board. You build this landscape together, and then you get to harvest from it and get to use it as well.
Oh, interesting.
Charterstone.
It's yeah, non-legacy Charterstone.
That's exactly what it is. All right. Cool. So we've kind of come to the end of the titles right now that are available in the shop, but we have a few.
Yeah, we have a few more. Let's start with the title. Please help us, because I picked up this title, and what I mean by "please help us" is I have no idea anymore what's the name and what's it all about. There's no English resource. So maybe you can help us if you're speaking Japanese. So that's the title right there. I just saw there's an email. Maybe I just write an email. So it says 2-player game, 5 minutes playtime, and six players are up.
These pieces are stunning.
I mean,
I think you have to. It's a two-player game, maybe?
It's a 2-player game.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have 10
tiles.
10 tiles.
5 black, 5 red.
So yeah, that's the game.
Please help us.
Please help us. Then the next one is. Let's bring on the big boys.
Oh, so cool.
Boom. These are also 2 Manifest Destiny games. One is called Boys Be Ambitious and the other is called Testament. And these are the big new titles from Manifest Destinies, and actually also one of the biggest games I ever saw at Game Market. So Boys Be Ambitious, I haven't played both of these, which is also, but I mean, they are also language dependent and only in Japanese right now. So
yeah, very hard to play them.
That's hard to play right now. Boys Be Ambitious has quite a cool theme. It's about like living in Hokkaido in the northern colder part of Japan, and I think it's a worker placement game.
Yeah.
And what you do in worker placement, getting resources and get victory points and so on. But I really like the theme and the artwork on that. So yeah, that's Boys Be Ambitious, and then the really big game. I mean, same box size, but playing time of 500 minutes.
And you know they underestimate. They always say it's going to be quicker than it is.
1 to 4 player. If you know Final Fantasy 14, the video game, this is like the board game equivalent. So build your party, level up, defeat mobs, defeat big monsters. They're actually every boss monster is like own board, which change. So for each boss monster, you have different rules and whatnot. And you try. Yeah, maybe we can take a look at the site. Just
to show you the boards.
Yeah.
A flying whale.
And
how cool is that?
To be fair, 500 minutes means to play through the whole campaign, which is play through all the boss monsters.
Yeah, and this is cooperative.
You probably won't do that in one session. So what you can do is like beat one monster in one session, and then for the next day you can play the next boss monster and so on. And after beating the monster, you can level up your character and get more cards into your deck. So it's card and dice based.
There are also stages for every monster, so you can choose what you want to fight.
I mean, you start with the stage 0 and then go on to level 5. Yeah, this is actually, it's also language dependent and only Japanese, but I'm pretty sure there will be English versions coming out for those 2 games.
We hope so.
We hope so.
Yeah, if you'd like to see it, you gotta at them. And there's one left, really?
Yeah, there's one left, and this is the hot game of Tokyo Game Market was the new Oink Games title, Troika. It's not on our shop yet. This is the only copy in our office, but it will be available next week, hopefully. Yeah, that's all I can say. We still have not played it, but I mean, again, Oink Games.
If you're watching this, you know who Oink Games are.
You know who Oink Games are. You know all their games are beautiful and are smart. So, Troika by Oink Games.
So that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That was our haul from Tokyo Game Market. And
what are you most excited? What do you want to play?
what I'm most excited, Little Town Builders. Definitely.
Town Builders?
Yeah, Little Town Builders.
And I think I'm looking forward to this one, but it will be hard with a Japanese. But yeah.
And I think for me, it's Dwarven Necklace.
Oh,
Builder.
that's awesome.
Yeah, that one I'm very excited about. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching our treasure trove. In the weeks and months ahead, we're going to be unboxing these, selling these, and yeah, we're going to know a lot more about these games. But we just wanted to show you what they look like.
Bye.
Bye.